This movie is up there with JJK Zero and Mugen Train and all those different Dragon Ball Super movies. We're gonna have a dialogue and we're gonna discuss this right now. But in all seriousness, I just got done watching the Black Clover movie, and I gotta say, the wait and the delay was worth it. That movie was pure cinema. That was peak fiction. Now, obviously, when I'm discussing this, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the movie. I'm not gonna go over everything because I'm be honest, I'm gonna be here all day if I just go over every single detail in the movie. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, go fucking watch it. Just go watch it. I'm going to spoil most things that happen in the movie, so go watch it. This video obviously isn't scripted, just giving you my pure raw reactions after watching the movie twice. First thing I want to talk about that was very eye-opening and eye-catching was the animation, because I'm gonna be honest, the animation was perfect. Obviously, it is a movie, it's supposed to be good. But for Black Clover, this was something special. Period was very much in their bag with this. Every moment in the movie never seemed dull, never seemed out of place. Everything looked fantastic, beautiful, and I hope when Black Clover's anime comes back, not only that we could possibly get the same treatment as the movie, but we can get a little bit better animation for the series, or even make it seasonal. The beginning of the movie shows us how Conrad was defeated by Julius and the other Magic Knights. We see a young Kaiser, he got bodied. We saw a young Fuegoleon, Nozel, even Mereoleona was there, Yami, a young Yami. I was surprised that William wasn't there, because you would think that William would be there to help combat Conrad since his magic would have been helpful, but hey, we still got a great fight. It looks like Conrad's about to win, but Julius seals him. I'm not going to go over everything, but just know that Julius becomes the Wizard King right after. Now, obviously, he was sealed. He was not killed. He was so powerful, Julius could even kill him along with the other Magic Knights. One aspect of the movie I really did like is how Asta really couldn't be in the Clover Kingdom because of the whole devil trial. Now, obviously, we knew he was going to be in the movie. He's the main character. So, obviously, he wore a mask, and we almost got Yuno versus Asta. Obviously, the tournament doesn't really matter. It's basically a setup for the villains to show up, which they did, and they caused havoc. And I'm not going to explain what happened, but just know several fights go on. Yuno versus Jester, well, Yuno and Rill. Asta versus, some of Princia's magic, and different kind of fights there. Actually got to see Dorothy and Leopold, which they desperately need screen time after the Spade arc. But again, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to go in depth with these fights. If you want to see a different video about me talking about the Wizard Kings, I will. But still, the fights were great, and in the first act, obviously the heroes weren't going to win. It was clear that even the captains couldn't win, and obviously we were missing Jack, William, and Charlotte. I do like how the movie uses its downtime to explain who Conrad is, and how he's basically not the Wizard King anymore, and how he basically fell from glory. I did really like that, and I did like Conrad's little conversation with the other Magic Knights, but I also like his whole duality and parallels with Asta. I like Noelle's role in the movie. I did like her conversation with Edward. It was beautiful, and I think it was heart-touching, and in my personal opinion, I did think that Edward was a bit of disappointment in the power standards, but as a character, as a villain, he was amazing. Would I say he was up there with Conrad? Maybe. Out of all four Wizard Kings fights, I love them all equally, but probably top two would either be between Mereoleona's fight versus Princia or Jester versus Yuno, Yami, Fuegoleon, and Nozel. Yes, that was a definite team up that you guys gotta look at. But Mereoleona's fight was beautiful. Nothing but straight hands. I'll say this again, go watch the movie for yourself. Me just explaining it to you wouldn't do it justice. I've watched this movie twice, and this movie has done numbers for me. In my personal opinion, I will watch it again probably later when I'm done making this video. Speaking of my GOAT, he had a great fight alongside the other captains Yami, Nozel, and Fuegoleon. And I gotta say, this fight had beautiful choreography, great team-ups. Obviously, I feel like this team-up was very, very good. I feel like there should have been more captain team-ups. Speaking of the other captains with Jack, William, and Charlotte, they were basically fending off the fodder. I do wish that they had a little bit more to do, mainly William. I feel like William should have been placed in this fight with Yuno, but one thing about Yuno is I feel like he should have had an ideology clash with Jester, but all he really did tell Jester is like, you're wrong, so I'm gonna beat your ass and make you see your ways. But I'm fine with that because Yuno was nothing but raw this movie. He was amazing. I love the music, I love the OST, I love the use of opening one when Asta is in his final battle with Conrad, but I also want to talk about the villains in this movie. Conrad and the other Wizard Kings, Jester, Princia, and Edward, they were amazing. And obviously they are canon because volume 23.5 is actually canon to the story. So obviously, if I were to rank these guys as villains, I'd say Conrad is at least top 2 or top 3, and the others are probably near the top 10 mark. Conrad being a parallel to Asta is amazing. I could spend a whole video talking about Conrad's parallels to Asta, which I will do sooner or later before I actually make a video on the Wizard Kings, because I feel like this dynamic between them is amazing. I feel like Asta said all the right words to Conrad. With the cameos between Liebe and Noct, I want to say this. I feel like Noct being there is okay, but the spatial magic going to him is kind of weird. I feel like I still need to watch it again to actually understand it. I do feel like he did it in random places, but I'm still kind of on the fence with it. But it's not really a big issue. It's just a real good cameo. I really love how the opening straight up played the moment Asta got the Imperial Sword, and when Asta basically fused with everyone's magic. I did like that. I didn't have a problem because I feel like it's just a one-time thing. Conrad's whole exchange with Asta, I did like how Conrad and Asta were fighting in basically space, but I did love their whole exchange of Asta saying, "Are you really just gonna destroy the whole Clover Kingdom?" He was all like, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna destroy this whole continent, everything." But obviously Conrad was going to continue, but having a flashback of his wife and his squad mates who are deceased. I will make a video on that later as well. But looking at Conrad as a character, he's amazing. A foil to Asta. He is just like Asta, a parallel. That is his dynamic. But when I'm looking at Conrad's motives, they're understandable. They're one of rage, revenge. He wanted to change the kingdom in a good way, but the kingdom took what he loved away from him. So what he deems right is to destroy them all and build it anew. Conrad truly wasn't really mad once Asta defeated him. He was mainly kind of relieved and at peace, because he's finally can rest, knowing that Asta could possibly become the Wizard King, and somebody walking down the same path as him isn't going to go astray. The final piece of the movie gives us short dialogue for the characters and the Imperial Sword, and not only that, Conrad and why he did what he did, and Asta basically recollecting about Conrad being the Wizard King, and Yuno just says, "You don't got to worry about that," and we get teased again with Yuno versus Asta, and the movie ends. This movie was fantastic. There was things that made me raise my eyebrow, but it was nothing short of amazing. Now, obviously, reading the light novel, you could possibly understand some of the motivations of some of these Wizard Kings, but again, you can find that on Twitter, and I'll make a video on it pretty damn soon. But if I were to give my ranking on this, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Closing on a 10 out of 10, there's just a little bit of things that I had a problem with. I just wish Yuno had, a bit of more of a conversation with Jester, and I wish the other captains were utilized a bit better, but that's just a little bit of a nitpick for me. Hopefully one day we can see Asta back, including the Black Clover anime, but that's for a different topic for a video. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy my review, leave a like, subscribe, and go watch the movie if you have not watched it already. I'm not trying to spoil y'all, because in the beginning of the video I already told you guys to go watch it yourselves before you got spoiled. Anyways, it has been the Red Cloak, and I'll see you guys next time in another video. Peace out.